Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a good day today. I want to share something with you guys that I don't like to say stumbled across it. I believe everything happens for a reason. It was something that God was showing me, and it's just amazing the timing and how He showed it to me. I believe the 25th of March was Palm Sunday, and this kind of has something to do with Palm Sunday amongst quite a few other things. I kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I want to share with you guys what I found. A few days back, a friend of mine was talking about Doubting Thomas and the story of Doubting Thomas, and my mind began to wander a little bit. And I remembered that Thomas was a twin, and so it got my mind to thinking about Jacob and Esau, the number 11, because the number 11 is a twin number. Then I got to thinking about the new age that God has been showing me that we're about to enter into, that one age is ending and that another is about to begin. And so this kind of gave me confirmation on some things as well. Thomas was a twin, and so I was thinking about the number 11, and I just started thinking of all things 11, and one of the things I thought about was the 11th zodiac sign, which is the sign of Aquarius, which is the next age, and the Aquarius means the water bearer. And whenever I thought of the water bearer, I was thinking of the Holy Spirit, the spiritual waters. Also, Aquarius is two lines. It's just two jagged lines to represent water. So anyway, it kind of got me going down this trail, and Joseph was the 11th son, and Joseph, he got sold into slavery, and then, we all know the story of Joseph and what happened to him and how he was blessed so much later in his life. But we all know that the number 7 it means perfection in God's numbers, but there's also another number for perfection, and that's number 10. So if 10 is an ordinal perfection, then 11 is perfect organization plus one more, one extra. It's like perfection with one extra. So one more than required, an extra measure. 11 is the number of revelation. The first time 11 is mentioned in the Bible is Genesis 32:22. This is right before Jacob wrestles with God, and we all remember that after Jacob wrestles with God and perseveres, that he received divine revelation, and his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. There's only 11 disciples after Judas was gone until Paul came along. Now, I know a lot of you guys have probably read some on the Gospel of Thomas, and there's a lot of people that bash the Gospel of Thomas, and personally I've read the Gospel of Thomas several times, and I believe that Thomas had some special divine revelation, and I believe that the story of Doubting Thomas and then the Gospel of Thomas with the 114 sayings of Jesus is probably because of some an extra measure that Thomas got of understanding, spiritual understanding of things. This is most likely why the Gospel of Thomas was left out of the Bible. But if you remember, Joseph was blessed as well, and then the number 7, and he was the 11th son of Jacob, and then there was the 11th sign in the zodiac, and that's Aquarius. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, I took it just a little bit farther because Palm Sunday was Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. So I want you to start thinking spiritual now of like New Jerusalem, okay? But I started looking at other things with the number 11, and I looked at the 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and that is the letter Kaf, K-A-F. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but the pictograph Kaf looks like the palm of a hand, okay? And this is where it got into the Palm Sunday. I'm getting goosebumps now. But it says the pictograph looks like the palm of a hand. Kaf is the first of the double letters, twins. The two letters of the word Kaf are the initial letters of the two Hebrew words Koach, which means potential, and Poel, which means actual, suggesting that Kaf enables the later power of the spiritual potential to be made actual in the physical. The word Kaf means palm of the hand and what might be contained in the palm of the hand. The word for spoon in Hebrew is kaf, which is a natural extension of the palm as a container. I mean, we're going back to the water bear again. The water bear is a picture of a man holding a container pouring water. And it's the palm of the hand. Kaf begins the word kana. I don't know, I'm not saying that right, which means spiritual focus and consent. Spiritual focus and concentration. The root word means to aim. It suggests that you should rid your mind of all that is distracting and aim to envision yourself as standing directly before the divine presence. Remember, I've been telling you guys that meditation is key. You know, that the religion that's been created off the writings in the Bible are a distraction, just like the Pharisees had the people at that time distracted with the law. The truth about salvation is having a direct connection with the Father. Salvation from religion, being freed from religion, setting the captives free. So it's key here for meditation, you know, to rid your mind of all the things that distract you, and that's religion. That's just clearing your mind and focusing and meditating to seek God within, Christ within, because the kingdom of heaven is within you. But whenever I thought about this, I was thinking about Jesus' triumphal entry, Palm Sunday. And then I was thinking, you know, he was going into Jerusalem. So whenever you're meditating and Christ moves in, it's his triumphal entry into you, because whenever he comes into you, he has triumphed over you and you've been made new. He's come into New Jerusalem. You are his abode, his living place now, and that is New Jerusalem. Anyway, one of the cool things about the Gospel of Thomas is that Jesus gave Thomas 114 sayings, and I was thinking about my dream, the throne of God, dream 114, but I'm going to read you a few of these sayings that Jesus gave to Thomas, and it says, "The one who seeks should not cease seeking until he finds, and when he finds, he will be dismayed. And when he is dismayed, he will be astonished, and he will be king over the all," capital A-L-L. "If those who lead you say to you, 'Look, the kingdom is in the sky,' then the birds will precede you." The birds will get there before you do. It's in the sky, literal sky. "If they say it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you." The kingdom is inside of you and outside of you. When you come to know yourself, then you will be known, and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father. But if you do not come to know yourselves, then you exist in poverty, and you are poverty. Remember, everything is key about the kingdom within you. Jesus said, you won't see it with your careful observation, with your physical eyes. It's a spiritual seeing and understanding. So anyway, I thought about the 114 sayings in my dream, the throne of God and 114. But in my dream, the 114, the throne of God, I remember there was a great light, and people couldn't handle the light. People from all religions were trying to get to this light, and there was very few that could make it to the source. The rest of them were being burned by the light. They couldn't handle the heat. They couldn't let go of their religion to get to it. They couldn't empty their cup. They just couldn't do it. It was too much for them to handle. And I'm going to go down one more little rabbit hole here, because I could have done this. I could have just kept going and going and going, but I didn't. I stopped at Judges 7. And Judges 7 is where Gideon was to pick his army to help him go and fight this enemy. And if you remember, there were 300 that lapped water from the palms of their hands. Okay? And those are the ones that God told Gideon to choose. They picked water up, living waters, with the palms of their hand, and they lapped it. And the reason they lapped it was so they could keep a watch. They were looking, so nobody could sneak up on them, or the false religions and all that stuff. All this stuff has spiritual understanding, but they were lapping the water from their hands, and they could look around. They didn't have their head down in the water, so they were alert. They were aware. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was amazing because, especially the timing, and how it confirms everything for me, that the kingdom is within us, and that, you are in New Jerusalem, and whenever Christ enters into you, he's made his triumphal entry, and you're made new. It's amazing. It's not about religion, guys. Most of you guys that watch my videos, which are very few of you, but most of you that watch my videos, you know that. Most of you guys have experienced the love and the power of God to come into your life and change you and make you different. I'm not saying you'll be perfect. We all struggle with our flesh, but this new mindset and everything that he gives you, it's amazing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's almost impossible to explain. It can only be experienced. If you haven't experienced it, you have to empty your cup. You got to get rid of everything that you've been brainwashed to believe since childhood. Get rid of all this religious ideologies and seek Christ within, because that's where the kingdom is. And once you found that treasure, you'll see for yourself. Anyway, I love you all. God bless.